An all-star cast gives a fervent ensemble performance in Emilio Estevez's Bobby, the recounting of the events in the lives of a dozen people who were present when Robert Kennedy was assassinated. It's June 4th, 1968, a typical day at the Ambassador Hotel in Hollywood, where Kennedy is to speak that night. There's wrangling and joking among the kitchen staff, wise advice by the friendly beautician in the hotel's beauty shop, and a couple about to marry so the groom won't be drafted and sent to Vietnam. The drug dealer staying at the hotel manager, several old retirees who meet regularly in the spacious hotel lobby, and several others round out the group whose lives will be changed forever after Kennedy gives his speech.
When I was a young doorman here, I greeted everyone. FDR, Truman, Premier Khrushchev, all of them. The Academy Awards were held here a total of 6 times. No scandals, happy times here. Senator Kennedy, welcome to the Ambassador Hotel.
Thank you very much. Buses are loading, gentlemen. Bobby Kennedy needs to get elected.
I thought you guys were doing volunteer work.
Not when you volunteer to work for the Kennedys. It's a full-time crusade.
I'm getting complaints that you're not allowing the kitchen staff to vote today.
They're not gonna vote. Half of them are illegal. They can't vote.
Every day you keep putting the brown man down, Edward.
That's right. Let's keep the brown man down. Let's send the brown man back across the border.
We didn't cross the border crossed us.
You're on stage in 9 sharp, and you're introducing Senator Kennedy in the embassy ballroom.
So sad. That woman. I used to be such a fan.
I'm not sure about this.
If marrying you tonight keeps you from going to Vietnam, then it's worth it.
Richard, Emilio Estevez wrote and directed this. He's wanted to get this film in for years.
Oh, boy.
You've heard me talk about this before.
Yeah.
People who are raised in Hollywood, people who've lived there too long, begin to think reality is film reality.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in this film. I think the people who have been affected and love this film were affected by the nostalgia of this big change they feel happened to the liberal cause, and the liberal cause has been suffering for ever since.
Right.
But get rid of that, and you've got a very flawed movie.
You've got nothing really. You've got like a bunch of different performances that don't hang together based on copies and copies of Grand Hotel. You've got Demi Moore, who I don't think has ever been worse in her life. It's like the worst performance of the year by a long shot, playing Drunken Chanteuse.
Exactly, she is terrible.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Sharon Stone is wonderful.
She was good, yeah, and for
wonderful.
So just like you're going like, this performance is pretty good. This is pretty bad. This is pretty good. This is outright terrible. And then the movie's over.
Right, and Anthony Hopkins is wandering around saying, "Am I in the right film?"
Yeah, he's like, "Am I Gene Hirschholt here?" I think people blame this on liberalism. I think that there's other factors at work here, and it's not that just liberals shouldn't make movies. I think that what the problem here is trying to tie this all together with Robert Kennedy, and they should have tried something a little bit more light to carry the day. Seeing this movie really did convince me that if Kennedy had lived, he would have been eaten alive by Richard Nixon. And so that made me like a double disappointment and doubly depressing.
Okay, let me get back to the 2 things I want to say about the movie. First of all, this thing affected me like the movie Hotel, like all those disaster films of the 70s, where you meet a whole load of people who are going to be involved in the crisis. But the problem was they were very commercial films, and they were cliched in the relationships and superficial.
When you've got you've got like 2 minutes to build a character. What else can you do except cliches?
So it just made this so superficial. And though we see a lot of Kennedy in those clips we showed, he's hardly in the film at all.
No, it's really like it's an elsewhere type of thing.
The other thing is this.
Yeah.
Estevez could not control himself from putting these monologues in the mouths of these people. And I'm particularly talking about Lawrence Fishburne, who does a wonderful job, but he has to start emoting on racism and Martin Luther King. And I mean, you say, oh my Lord, didn't anyone get a blue pencil to this script? It's too bad it failed.
Intriguingly, Nicholas Saul of the Chronicle said this is one of the best films of the year. So take that for what you.
Who can do it? Yes.